Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Brew live on Brew Sports. We welcome you inside the studio after a chaotic but yet exciting weekend in the sports world. Of course, we're talking about March Madness, as we will be talking about that and so much more all over Brew Sports today. You're not going to want to miss all the great content we have for you. We do welcome you inside our studio now. I'm Baxter and that wonderful person over there is Jaymee Evers. Jaymee, I know you worked a lot this weekend. I know your energy level is like, but I'm excited still to have you back. How are you today?
I think I say I'm tired every morning, so I got to come up with a different...
Yeah, I mean, it is. It's like, Jaymee, who are you? I'm tired. Okay.
I'm
great.
Great.
You're great. You're phenomenal. You should just start, like, looking up words that are, like, synonymous with, like, you know, excited or great and just drop, like, these crazy big long words. I am exponentially, like, overwhelmed with joy today. Like, wow. Okay,
Jaymee. How much sleep did you get last night?
Yeah. You're like, this isn't my co-host, Jaymee. I don't know who you are. This is not the same fireball that I'm used to in the mornings. But we're excited to have all of you wonderful people here. We wish you all a good morning. We know that the NCAA tournament is a hot topic right now, which we're going to get to in just a little bit. A reminder for you, of course, to voice your opinions. Are you still upset about your team losing over the weekend? Are you still upset that Jaymee, who did no prep, is still in first place in the Brew Sports Bracket Challenge? Yes, I am. Thank you for asking. You can rattle on her. You can comment below. Make sure you share as well, too. That way people know just how ridiculous it is that she's in first place and she did nothing. She just was like, pick. Perfect. I've got my almost a near perfect bracket. It is absurd. Absolutely absurd. So make sure to comment and share so that way the rest of the world knows how ridiculous Jaymee is. So that way the whole world is aware of what the heck is going on.
I can't help it.
You can't help it?
Just that good.
Sure. That's what it is. What is this? What is the song? Don't hate me because I'm beautiful, or don't hate me because I'm... Isn't there a song that like Beyonce or somebody sings? Don't hate me. I don't know.
I have no idea.
Really? You? Okay. This girl is like, you don't know who Biggie is. Here I am trying to be like, you don't know who Beyonce is.
Trying to make up a song. You don't even know if it's a real song.
I'm pretty sure it's a song.
Okay.
And I'm sure whatever people that know music decide to start commenting, they will be like, well, yeah, duh, Baxter, it's this song. I'm pretty sure. It's like, don't hate me because I'm beautiful or something like that. I'm pretty sure it's a song. Somebody get an intern on that to look it up. Yes, I agree. Bruce says you got some skills.
By a song in the 1980s, a Pantene Brownie commercial.
I don't know. I thought it was some like more recent song. I thought it was like, don't hate me because I'm beautiful. That's all the only words I know of the whole song. I could be completely wrong, which has happened more than once, as you know. But apparently not as right as you are with your bracket, which I'm still fired up about, but I'll get to that. I don't want to jump ahead of the gun here. Anyway, what's on tap for us, or what's brewing? What show is this? What's brewing? That's what show it is today. I never know whose catchy phrases are for who. For Jaymee, can you give us a rundown of what's brewing today in the sports world?
Yeah, I think before we jump into talking about so much basketball today, we should maybe go over and talk about the soccer player who...
not me. You said soccer player, and I'm like...
Oh.
No.
Who thanked his wife and his girlfriend on TV.
Oh.
Which I suggest no one ever does.
Well, we have the clip. Let's take a gander at this. This gentleman, Mohammed Anes, gave us his comments. Check it out. That moment when you just realized that you're, yeah.
Oopsies. And maybe they're cool with it, but I don't think so.
But maybe not, though.
Yeah, I don't
Maybe
think so.
not. I think his last name is kind of fitting. A-N-A-S is his last name.
Yeah.
I know. That's kind of funny. He's made a little bit of an ass of himself. Play on words. Anyway, what else is going on in the sports? Have you ever deliberately? I mean, you don't strike me as a side piece kind of gal, so I don't think that you'd be, having a boyfriend and having a little frolic there on the side at the same time. Do you know any friends that have ever done that or gotten any?
Well, obviously.
Well, do you want to put any of them on blast right now? Be like, Jimmy, I'm looking at you.
It's too early.
It's too early.
Yeah.
Not looking at it. Well, if you missed it, apparently yes. This wonderful gentleman was telling the world that he was thanking his girlfriend and his wife all at the same time for their love and support. And then he's like, I just mean my wife. Just my wife.
What happened?
Yeah, we need a follow-up story. Not CNC, CNN. There we go.
I wonder
No coffee yet.
if they even watch it. You know what I mean?
I doubt it. I mean,
Yeah.
how do they know? They probably are still in the stadium or whatever until this actually goes massively viral and people are like, oh, did you hear what
Oh
that
my
soccer player
gosh,
did? That
yo.
guy looks like Muhammad. You're Muhammad's girlfriend, wife / lover. Like, you should be mad at him for this.
Did you know he had a wife? Like, yeah, probably.
Yeah. And then he was like, oh, I love you. I love you. Oh, yes. Like, yeah, you're done. It was that moment that Muhammad realized he done messed up. That was the moment. Good morning to you, Robert, saying hello to us. Brew thinks it may have been a Pantene commercial back in the day from my Don't Hate Me Because I'm Beautiful. Somebody needs to help me figure out what song that is from. I almost swear it's a Beyonce commercial. I'm not saying that is the actual like tagline of the entire song, but I'm almost positive that's like a Beyonce song. Or
Carrie Hilton?
I don't know. I have no idea. You're asking me to do something in the pop culture world that I don't know, and maybe this is my own fault for bringing it up, but I was almost positive that there's something like that. One of these smart people that's watching will eventually be like, Baxter, here's the song, and then I'll be like, boom, there it is. Get on my level. Anyway, moving on. Do you get emotional when you watch sports games, Jamie?
No.
No?
Mm-mm.
Never?
I mean, like, I get excited. And,
No.
Okay, so I guess I should say yes.
I get excited, but I don't get emotional.
Yeah, and like I'll get, I don't know, sad. I don't know if that's the right word, like disappointed.
Disappointed,
Yeah.
sad.
But I'm not like you won't find me like yelling at the TV or.
You're not? No?
No, I'm pretty quiet.
Would you ever be a coach's wife? Could you ever see yourself like marrying a coach of a successful program, or just in general, and then like being supportive and going to games, and then just like giving a piece of your mind if the refs are just ridiculous? Would you be that wife? Would you be like, listen here, you pieces of crap?
Yeah, I'd probably talk a lot of smack.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be curious about that. Well, the reason we bring that up is that Greg Marshall's wife over at Wichita State made headlines over the weekend because she was getting rowdy. She was trying to help Wichita State fire them up to upset Kentucky, and ultimately that did not end up happening. However, there was some clips that have emerged from the overall chaotic excitement of it, this one in particular. So take a look at this one and let us know your thoughts about it. Oop, awkward, buffering. Well, it's not going to continue to keep playing, but basically the moral of the story is that security had to come and pull her out of the stands. And I know you know a little bit more about this than I do, Jamie. What exactly, like, why? What was the reason for it here?
They said that she was cursing and being obnoxious, which in the videos I saw, so they made whoever posted that video originally take it down, and then he put it back up.
Of course, because the internet.
Right, because, yeah, it's 2017. Why not? But yeah, it just says that she was being obnoxious and swearing and cursing, so they had to ask her to leave. But I didn't find the video I saw, and granted it was only 7 seconds. She just looked like she was her heart was there.
I know, that's what I'm confused about. I mean, at what point do you tell somebody, be like, stop yelling, stop cheering, stop supporting your team, darn
Right.
you.
Especially since it was such a close game, and if they would have...
That's the thing. Can you
beat
imagine
Kentucky,
if they
then-
actually would have won? She'd have been like, yeah, I told you.
And then my bracket would have been screwed up.
Maybe that's would have helped. Come on, Wichita State, you had one job.
One job.
Should have done that. Yeah. Robert and Abhishek both say good morning to us on Facebook. Good morning, Robert and Abhishek. We appreciate you guys tuning in. She said the F word, apparently, according to
Okay,
Robert.
well, she's an adult. It's okay.
Jamie going to bat for all those ladies out there that use the F word. It's totally fine. It's fine. She can say French fries on national TV if she wants to.
Well, I mean,
Or feng
she's
shui.
not at a daycare. Like, she's at a sporting
There's children in
event.
the stands. It's a family event.
Who cares?
If I walked into your family event and started, the Ebbers are a whole nother family. I'm not going to even pretend like saying the F word's like a faux pas there. Anyway, do you know what faux pas means? We had this discussion with Fubar, and what was the other one?
Something with an S.
Oh my gosh, shoot! This got sent to me over the weekend too. Wow, this is so bad.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. Jeff sent me a message though, detailing everything about it. I'll have to read it to you eventually. Holy cow, I feel really bad now. Anyway, We have one more story for you before we get to the NCAA tournament in more detail. This one comes from Northwestern. What is this? This is just the fan that everybody is, basically. I don't know. What's the best way to describe this here?
I feel like every year they find someone and pick on them. So, like, the last year there was a flute player. I can't remember where she's from. She's literally, like, bawling.
Oh, that's right.
And so this year, it's this poor little
chap. Boy here, basically. He's just, like, absolutely losing his dang mind, and he's like, no. I don't even know what the call was at this point, that he just was absolutely freaking out.
His mom, at one point, you can see in a video, she like comes up to him and she's like,
tries to comfort him, basically,
okay.
Be like, stop, like,
calm down. And he's like, okay. And then 2 seconds later, he's like,
and
no.
what makes it worse too, I mean, I'm not making fun of kids with braces, but he's got like the double spacers or whatever that is in there, and he's just like, yeah, like, you can just see it even worse.
Yeah, it's funny.
Yeah, and Robert is saying that what's his face's wife there, now I'm forgetting, the lady we just talked about.
Greg's wife.
Greg's wife apparently made the Northwestern kid cry. That's what we're going to correlate those stories together, basically.
She said the F word and he got butthurt.
Yeah, she was like, no, you're in a totally different game, no. Jeff says snafu. That's the word we were looking for. Thank you, Jeff. Could not remember the dang snafu word for the life of me. We talk about so many things on the show, okay? And when you expect us to remember words like snafu and foobar and all these other things, it's very difficult. We're under a lot of pressure, Jamie. We really are.
And it's early.
It is. It's very early. So Bruce says, after much searching, Baxter, you definitely are either remembering the Pantene commercial in the 80s or the million of memes and quotes directly from that commercial. All are possible. I don't have a time frame on when this said commercial was actually released. I just know whether it's a commercial or if it was actually an actual song.
I mean, I doubt that you remember in 1980s.
No, because I wasn't alive in the
Shampoo
1980s. So 1992, let it live forever in infamy. No, I don't remember this, but it's in my head, and I'm hopeful that somebody in their right mind eventually joins us and says, "Yes, it was this song."
Maybe it's just a song you.
I hear Beyonce in my head. I swear it was her.
Maybe if you like show me what she does in her music video,
I don't know. That's the thing. I don't know. Help me, Jamie. Help me. You're my only hope. I don't know. You out there, my fellow Americans and citizens around the world, help me figure out this song that has "Don't Hate Me Because I'm Beautiful" in it. It's a recent song, I promise.
I think you made it up for yourself.
I wish. Because then I would have at least I would have had a source to reference if it was me. Be like, well, yeah, it was 2003, and it was Shaniqua Jones that sang it. Like, that's not what it is. It's a real song. I've heard it on the radio before. It's a real thing. Help me. Please. Help me figure this out. I'm losing my mind.
Not real.
Okay. Sure. I don't know. Robert says, is it really early, all this support I'm giving Jamie? Can I bother to get... Oh, interesting. My goodness. I'll let you address that one, Jamie. You can address that one any way you'd like to.
I'm just gonna not.
People are smitten.
Oh,
People are
boy.
smitten. Jamie, how's your bracket look? I know how your bracket looks, but in your mind, how does your bracket look?
If I told you, I haven't even looked at my bracket.
She hasn't even looked at it. Jamie is in the 99th percentile for accurate brackets, and she hasn't even looked at it. Somebody get me a 2x4.
I had a busy weekend.
So did I.
I didn't have time to look at it. I'll look at it right now, though.
Hey, there's an idea.
If I can find it.
So the Brew Sports Bracket Challenge for all of you phenomenal people that have signed up and actually care. I'm in 7th place right now. No, I'm not. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. I'm in a 4-way tie for 7th place with 470 total points. Jamie has 520 points, currently in 1st place overall. No ties, no draws, no snafus.
Man, I'm so good.
You are.
It's okay. I'll lose after this week.
What I really need to look through your bracket here. So you had Villanova going rather to your Final Four, which ultimately ended up hurting you. Villanova was one of your final 2 teams, so you kind of hurt yourself a little bit that way. So that's unfortunate, but also works in my favor as well too. Let's see. What else have you done? You had Marquette going a bit of a ways. That hurts you. You had Louisville going a bit of a way. That hurts you. You had FSU, who lost. I had them too. And you had them going a bit of a ways, so that's hurt you a little bit as well too. But you've apparently done so much other things correct, which is ridiculous. I'm comparing with my bracket here, and I just want to call hacks because I feel like you just somehow, some way, have ruined the sports world with your chaotic craziness here.
The Midwest and the South, I have perfect so far.
Oh, of course you do.
Gosh.
She's got it all perfect. All perfect. Yeah, Bruce says my bracket is horrible unless Florida wins it all. Well, I don't know why anybody willingly would pick Florida to win it all, Brew. That just seems like a foolish, fickle, funny thing to do, personally. Yeah, that's kind of why you're like buried in Brew's in 34th right now in our bracket challenge. Get it together, Brew.
Should have taken some tips from me.
Should have. And by tips, she means pick the highest seed. They always and hope for the best, basically.
Okay, I did not. I have I have Kentucky winning. They're
number 2.
Yeah, that's not a number 1.
That's a high seed.
Wow.
It's not an 11. It's not a 12.
Do you have an 11 or a 12?
In my bracket?
Yeah.
The highest or the lowest, whatever seed that I have is Michigan, who's a 7.
So who do you have winning? Where
Michigan. Michigan is my supposed national champion. And all y'all that were like, Michigan sucks. They do, except not this time of year. So they beat Louisville 73-69 yesterday, and the onslaught of messages I received saying, "You're a genius!" And that was actually just me telling myself, "Well done, Baxter. Well done."
You hate on me for only putting high seeds in there, but it's working.
It is to an extent for now, until Kentucky goes down.
I know.
And once Kentucky goes down at the hands of Duke, no, not Duke, at the hands of UCLA or the hands of Butler, UNC, then you will be mad, and I will continue to speak in this voice. That's not it. So yeah, I really don't know what to make of the weekend action. Honestly, did you catch any of the Wisconsin Badgers game?
I did. I got to catch a little bit of it.
Your thoughts about how the Badgers upset and pulled off the chaotic, crazy victory against Villanova?
It was exciting. I didn't think that they were going to. I thought after the game ended and I started looking up percentages and all that stuff, only 9%.
You didn't want to look at your bracket at that time when you were looking things up? Okay.
I also thought, though, that I had Wisconsin losing. So that was to my surprise.
You actually had Wisconsin winning? What? Oh, no, you had Villanova winning. Oh. No, you had Villanova winning.
Or, yeah. So I knew I had them losing, which was... during the game, I was like, I really want my bracket to be good, but I really would prefer the Badgers to win.
Yes, I feel like a lot of folks are kind of like that in that sense. And that's an argument that I've heard from so many people, too. And I even talked about this on the video I did last night on Brew Sports briefly, for those of you that tuned in. Thank you. About how hard it is this time of year to feel so conflicted, especially even when it comes to like fantasy football as well, too. It's like, you know, I'm a Packers fan, but if my quarterback in my fantasy football team is Matt Stafford, I have to be a closet Lions fan for at least a little bit just so he helps my team, kind of a thing. Like, you and I are Badger fans, but you have Kentucky winning your national championship, so obviously you're kind of a Kentucky fan. You're not, obviously, because that means you'd actually pay attention.
Right.
Just kidding. Same for me with a Michigan fan. Like, I'm contradicting myself, especially like all the Big Ten craziness that is conflicting with us, but you pay attention to these other teams and you get stuck after a while and you just kind of look at your bracket. You're like, do I even care anymore if my team wins, or do I even care anymore about my bracket, depending on how far gone you are? Like, if I was sitting on like a near perfect bracket, I would be like, oh my gosh, like I need all these teams to win. Like, I don't even care about my team anymore. Lose, 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 sort of a thing, just so it helps my bracket. But this scenario, though, you are almost just so invested in where you're just like, I need these teams to win. And yeah, I guess I do care about it. Like, I was so conflicted watching the Badgers-Villanova game because I'm like, I have Villanova picked to win this game, but I really want the Badgers to win. And then when they did win, I was like, yay, boo, all at the same time. I was very conflicted. It hurt, but I'm glad at the same time. Aside from that, though, I mean, it was a very crazy thing, this weekend. And the argument that people are continuing to make is that Wisconsin and a lot of these other Big Ten teams were underseeded. And I looked at this. I took a little bit of time and I looked at this, and I wanted to get people's thoughts about this and get your thoughts about this as well, too, because folks were saying that Wisconsin, and mostly people were upset about Minnesota being a 5 seed. And I looked at Minnesota and I said, okay, what if Minnesota and Wisconsin switched? Wisconsin would have had to have played Middle Tennessee, who's a 12 seed. Probably would have beat them. They then would have probably had to deal with Butler, who was a 4 seed. Maybe, probably would have beat them. They then would have had to have deal with UNC, which would have been incredibly difficult, a 1 seed. And then they probably would have had to deal with a UCLA or Kentucky. Arguably a much harder path for the Badgers if they had gone that way instead of now having to go through Florida and then either Baylor or South Carolina. Like, the Badgers got lucky because they beat Villanova, and now I feel like the floodgates are open for them to go and contend for a national championship. Whether or not that's going to happen, I'm not sure.
Right.
But I feel like they're sitting in a pretty good spot now, going forward, really, depending on how you look at it.
You think people just get upset because it's a higher number or a lower number?
Yes.
Technically it's high.
That's all it is.
Like, they just see the number and they just automatically get upset.
I agree. I completely agree with you on that one. Robert says the Pac-12 is very strong. I do agree with you on that one. And Duke was overseeded as a 2 with 9 losses. Well, Robert, that's the hard part about all of this as well, is that the committee themselves that actually, divvies out these selections, it's like, how do you justify, like, what? You can't look at something on paper and say, I know for a fact that to be a number 5 seed, I need at least this. Like, you can't walk into a room and be like, hi there, we are a 5 seed because we did this, 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 and this. Like, the difference between a 3 seed and a 5 seed, I feel like, is nothing. It's peanuts. It's all personal opinion by the committee, basically, instead of, somebody actually saying, oh, well, if you lose 9 games, you absolutely are not allowed to be a 1 seed. Or if you lose 10 games, you're absolutely not allowed to be a 5 seed. Like, it doesn't make sense to me. Have some consistency, It blows my mind.
I agree.
It does. So aside from that, there was great games over the weekend, though. Notre Dame losing was a shock to a lot of folks. Xavier just curb stomping FSU was a huge one. Arizona beat St. Mary's. Gonzaga beat Northwestern. So sorry there, Wildcats. Your little tournament run is officially over. So sorry, not sorry. You can kind of get over it. You just need to stop, I don't know. I'm not exactly sure what to make the most sense of that one as well. But aside from that, though, one thing that I wanted to look at as well, too, is the fact that this tournament, though, has already surprised so many people. Like, how do you figure out who your potential national champion is now? Because you look at the teams left. You've got Kansas. You've got Purdue, Oregon, Michigan, Baylor, South Carolina, Wisconsin, Florida, UNC Butler, Gonzaga, West Virginia, Xavier, Arizona, UCLA, and Kentucky. Arguably the next best matchups going forward have to center around probably UCLA, Kentucky, Gonzaga, West Virginia, maybe. Michigan, Oregon's going to be a fun one no matter how you carve it up. But are there any games that you're specifically looking at here in this next round, Jamie, that really have your eye? Are you going to be watching this Wisconsin-Florida game, or do you have your Kentucky that you're hoping to be a national champion that you're going to pay extra close attention to now going forward?
I'll probably watch the Badger game for sure. Hoping that it's a later game because I have to work. And then the only other game I'll probably pay attention to is Kentucky.
Makes sense. I understand that.
Yeah.
You really have to just track the teams and track what you actually care about, of course. Right. Robert says he's going to be keeping an eye on the Purdue game, which makes sense. They're playing a fun game. They've got to take on Kansas now. That's going to be a big game.
It was crazy to see the amount of Iowa fans in Milwaukee this weekend and Purdue fans. But Iowa fans took the cake 100%. There was a crazy amount of people downtown.
Right. Iowa State fans, correct?
What did I say?
Iowa.
Yeah.
It's a little different.
Sorry.
I understand, but they'd be all over you, be like, we are totally different.
Yeah.
It's like saying you're from the Dakotas. It's like, no, you're the North or South. Like, you can't
combine them.
Can't combine them. Just don't lump us into one massive state that the union should do to save time and money. It's a whole nother show for a whole nother topic, basically. But anyway.
But yeah, then we had people, too, coming into work trying to scalp tickets outside.
Makes sense.
And they're like, yeah, I met a couple different groups of people. And they had said that they do this every year. They just take the train up from Chicago, or last year when we had it, too. Mm-hmm. Pay a couple, $100, $200 for a ticket. And they said this year people are asking like $354. Because all the teams were so close to Milwaukee.
Right.
With their fan base. Obviously, could just make a quick drive. But, yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah. I've never been a big fan of the whole scalping tickets thing. And I've never purchased. I think I've done it one time.
I don't think I've ever.
And I was really young when I did it.
Yeah, I would rather buy it from. I don't even really. There's Ticketmaster kind of has that like a resale, but also doesn't. Like you can buy secondhand
StubHub,
tickets.
a lot of those other guys.
Yeah. And I feel like a lot of times those also don't work.
Yeah, well, my biggest concern is that if I buy these secondhand tickets from somebody, like my concern is that I'm going to get up to the gate and they're going to scan it and be like, your ticket doesn't work. I'm like, I just spent $300 on these tickets.
Like the anxiety, I wouldn't be able to do it.
No, I would be so upset, especially like if I was taking my kids with me, be like, oh my gosh, I got a great deal on these tickets.
We're going to Sesame Street.
Yeah, we get there. I don't know if I would never scalp Sesame Street tickets personally.
Maybe it's a hot commodity.
Maybe I would just spend the money.
Okay.
Yeah. Tammy says "Pretty Girl Rock" by Carrie Hillson. I don't know. I don't know if that's is that I don't. I'm gonna have to look it up, and I know I should, but I don't know. Maybe. I don't know what the song sounds like, but I think you're right at the same time, Tammy. I don't know who you are, Tammy, but you probably just became my new best friend if this ultimately is the real deal here. I'm going to see if I can look this up and also continue to talk at the same time. Pretty Girl Rock by Carrie Hillson.
So you cannot talk and look it up at the same
time.
I
can. I'm curious though, because like I said, I feel like I would have known the name of the song, but maybe I wouldn't though. Maybe
it's like, do the Pretty Girl Rock.
What is it?
That's it. That's all I got.
Okay. I don't think that's the right thing. Let me see here. Once this ad's done playing, I will see if I can play a little bit of this while we're continuing to mosey on with the show. Why did I think it was Beyonce? Assuming I need to hear the song. I really, really, I don't know why Beyonce is just drilled into my head, but part of me wants to think and say that this is Beyonce that says it, that sings the song. This doesn't sound right to me, personally. I don't know about the rest of you. No. Oh, wait, yes, this is it. I recognize her voice now.
Yeah, not Beyonce.
Where's... Yes! Okay, sorry, Carrie, that's the biggest compliment you'll ever get is that you sound like Beyonce in my head, apparently. Yes, Carrie Hillson. Thank you, Tammy. I don't know who you are, but thank you. Oh, my gosh. My life is forever changed. Okay, I'm done. Anyway, yes, thank you. Wow, life is good. Life is very good now. Anyway, where do you want to go from here, Jamie?
Better?
Where do you want to go from here? Now that I've accomplished my goal for the day is to figure out this song. And that's the thing. I never knew, I guess. I never knew what the name of the actual person. I guess I just assumed it was Beyonce just because I guess on the radio sometimes the names get distorted.
Carrie and Beyonce.
Synonymous with each other. Really, they are. Carrie, Beyonce.
Nope, I don't think so.
I'm pretty positive.
Nope.
Yes.
You're just digging right now.
Am I?
Yeah.
I don't know. Does that happen to you though? Do you get a song stuck in your head? You're like, dear God, who the heck sings this song? Does that ever happen to you?
I mean, I'm sure.
But to this extent, where you literally
I usually
back
drop
in
it.
the call of the entire Brew Sports universe to be like, help me.
No, I usually drop it after a couple minutes.
It took me 28 minutes to get my answer, and I am so excited, and I literally am going to just blast this song the rest of the day, just so that way I can continue to
Your
live.
walk-up song?
It is going to be my new walk-up song now. To Heck With My House by Flo Rida.
Brew, take notes.
Yes, my new song, Pretty Girl Rock by Carrie Hillson.
She's probably a Pantene customer.
I hope so. She probably is. That would be my guess. Life is good now, Jamie. I feel like I just feel like I can be done with my show today. I feel like you get the last half hour to talk about whatever you want, and my life is complete now. Welcome to the Morning Brew, where nothing makes sense, but it all does at the same time. No, one of the things I want to talk about, you always like to rant about Colin, your boy Colin Kaepernick.
Yeah.
He had lunch over the weekend or over the last week with notable film director Spike Lee, who has also been in some great commercials here for March Madness with Charles Barkley and Samuel L. Jackson. Have you seen any of those commercials?
I don't know.
You don't know
I
if
think
you have?
so.
They're Capital One commercials. They're pretty
Okay.
funny. It's just the three guys doing all kinds of stuff. Like my favorite one is when they're having steaks on the
Okay.
plane, and they ask Samuel L. Jackson like what they're doing, and he's like, "We're eating steaks on a plane," and they're like, and he's like, "Snakes on a plane." They're like that's a very like 3-second version of it, but like it's kind of funny because he realizes it. He's like, "Oh, come on." They also sing, "Oh, now we're gonna get into another song." Shoot. What the heck is the song now? I Will Survive. Whoever the song, Gloria, somebody that sings that song, like they start like it's like Charles's ringtone on his phone, and
Okay.
then and, like they like are all singing it, and then he like turns it off. But then and like because the flight attendant like taps him on the shoulder, and it's actually her, and she starts singing it too, and they're all like, yeah, like dancing and all that.
All these little things make you so happy.
They do.
If everyone was that easy to please.
I am a very easy person to please. I don't understand why. I feel like we need to have a moment here. Like, what's going on? Like, I feel like I've got enough energy for both of us this morning. You're just
You
looking
do.
at me. You're just kind of like, what? What do you
do.
want? You're kind of like a teenage daughter just sitting at like a table as the dad's
like
just
having
like,
a
get
conversation.
excited. You're just like, Dad, stop.
Yeah.
Like, I do feel like your father.
I was
some
gonna say, I
days.
feel like that's our relationship.
It really is some days. Even though you're clearly, you are older than me on paper. Not clearly. I don't want to make it sound like you look older than me. Maybe. I don't know. Who looks older? Probably
me.
Do you?
Yeah.
I have gray hair.
I think you look young. I mean, I don't think I look old, but
I do have gray hair. For those that are curious, I do have gray hair.
where?
It's on this side over here.
Well, there's a couple specks in there.
A couple gray hairs, mostly from hosting these shows, where a lot of this comes from. That's not true.
You have like 3.
But I still have gray hair. How
Okay.
many gray hair do you have, Jamie?
I don't know. One time I pulled one out from right here.
It's always inconvenient too. It's never like there's not a good spot to have gray hair. I feel like I've always joked with my wife. I'm like, you're gonna have to buy me some Just for Men. Now they found another gray hair.
When did you find your first gray hair?
Like a year or so ago. Yeah. I know. Tammy says you're welcome. New viewer, you guys are hilarious. Childhood friend of the Evers family. Tammy, you for sure are definitely my new best friend. I appreciate it, and you made the smart choice by being a friend of the Evers family. Friend of the Evers is a friend
Debatable.
of mine. Friend of the Evers is a friend of mine, Tammy. So I appreciate you helping me with this. I knew if I said it enough times to enough people, somebody somewhere would get on that. And I'm so thankful for Tammy. I'm going to name my next daughter Tammy in honor of her. My next daughter. I don't even have a daughter yet, but if our next daughter is, unless my wife
Even
is
if you have a
watching,
son, his name will be Tammy.
Tamarack. We'll call him Tammy for sure.
Tamarack.
I don't know. Making stuff up now. Robert says we both look like we're under 25 years old. Well, thank you.
Nice.
I'm 25.
Me
so.
too.
Are you? I know you are. I know you are. I'm kidding. I forgot for a half second now.
Yes, I am. I know I look old and youthful. I mean, what?
That's not how that works.
don't know.
I think we need a close up. Like look at Jamie's face
No,
there.
don't.
Look at her. She looks fine. See? Young, beautiful. Look at me.
I have crow's feet.
You have crow's feet? Because you smile too much. Isn't that what that
Oh, and I
isn't that
have
how you
this.
get crow's feet?
Okay, I always look angry. You can't even do it if you try.
I don't know what you're doing.
Just
Do it again.
scold you with your eyebrows.
I can't scold very well though. I'm like the worst person to be mad at because I'm just like
How are you gonna scold Beckham?
he's a model child.
He'll just be like, "I'm so mad at you."
What did you do? You just slapped that kid in the face. What the hell? No, I won't say that. I would like to go on record to believe that my children will be just fine. Beckham's already a phenomenal kid. Top of the class.
Mm-hmm.
Best kid I've ever had. Arguably number 1 in my power rankings. Some people thought he was a sleeper. He does sleep a lot, but that's irrelevant. He's a great, phenomenal person.
These dad jokes.
Do we want to go back to sports at any time
Probably.
during this show? We probably should.
We can go back to our boy Colin if we
We can
want.
go back to Colin in just a hot moment. Joel on Robert says, told you he wants more kids. When did you ever tell me that I didn't want kids? Were you talking about Friday when we were talking about vasectomies? Maybe that's what it was.
I don't think we talked about vasectomies.
Did you hear about the whole vasectomies thing, though?
Nope.
Really? So apparently, this is sports related, so we're coming back to the sports world. Apparently, there is a 30% increase in vasectomies around the start of March Madness. So that way, guys who get the surgery, it only takes like 20 minutes to get the surgery, but it's a 2 to 3 day recovery period. So, guys, get it on a Wednesday.
Shut
They
up.
stay home Thursday, Friday, and through the weekend to see all the March Madness action of the opening rounds. Then they go back to work on Monday.
My boss, his daughter was sick on Thursday.
Was she? Mm-hmm. I told you to be sick Thursday, Friday, and you still showed up.
I know.
I told you. I was like, Jaymee, just skip. Ain't nobody got time for work. Don't skip Bruce sports, but skip everything else. Craig says it's true. And I cold opened basically Happy Hour Friday by asking Barry and Mitch if they've ever had a vasectomy.
Oh.
It's quite the show.
Yeah.
And they both were like, well. Mitch was like, I don't even have a girlfriend. I was like, well, maybe that's your problem. No, that's not it. That's not true.
The boss that called in sick also. He got a vasectomy last year. And we had a balls party for him. So everyone had to bring like cheese balls and meatballs and stuff to the office.
Do you get public with stuff like that? I guess that's my
Probably
question. Like if I'm getting a vasectomy, I don't know how many people I'm going to tell. Be like, guys, I'm going to be out of the office for a couple days.
Yeah. I don't think that I work in a normal work environment.
You don't. You're right.
So.
And neither here do you as well.
No. Right.
In general, though.
Yeah.
Okay. What are we talking about?
I feel like it's okay.
How many vague words can we use? Like,
Yeah.
totally.
Super.
For sure.
I'm tired.
I am too. Joel on Facebook says, Baxter and I went to youth group together back in the good old days. What's going on, Joel? I haven't heard from Joel in, oh my gosh, probably 10 years. Hope you're doing well, bud. Good to appreciate you tuning in. Joel was a boss back in the day. I loved Joel at the old youth group stomping grounds. Good times. Youth group, man, that's where the real dreams lived and died back in the day. If you were cool at youth group, you were cool in general, I feel like. Did you ever go to youth group as a kid?
I went to, I think so. Awanas? Is that what it's called? I don't know what
Awanas is definitely not a youth group.
Yeah, it is.
Is it?
It was on Wednesday nights and it was at a church.
Okay. That doesn't mean that. So is AA. That doesn't make it religious.
Maybe that's what I was going to.
Probably. 15-year-old Jaymee in Sheboygan, Wisconsin, going to AA.
It is a real thing. My friend's niece is in it right now.
Okay. Does she have a drinking problem?
She probably will soon. She's from Sheboygan, of course.
There's only one route to go from Sheboygan, basically. That's nothing against the great Sheboyganites that are out there. Is that what you guys go by, Sheboyganites? Or Sheboygians? Everyone's got a name. Milwaukeeans, Wisconsinites. Sheboyganites.
Mm-hmm.
That's just, yeah. I feel like you have to. Robert just keeps LOLing us. That's the best thing you can do for all this, Robert. I mean, people question us, Jaymee. They're like, what in the world do you guys do in the morning show? Like, we
try
literally
to talk about sports,
everything.
And then we just veer off.
And then I get a song stuck in my head, and then I get to play it, and I dance and freak out, and we get super excited. I get excited. Jaymee just stares at me like, get me out of here. Help. Like, I'm going to cut to her one of these times. She's going to have a little sign that's going to be like, help me. Like those kids that do that, like in car windows, like to joke around. I don't want to joke about those kids that actually have been. Anyway, but
I was one of those kids that.
Did you really?
Oh, like when we would go on road trips and stuff? Oh, yeah.
Did you guys ever get pulled over?
No.
Oh, good.
We also, one time, tied this little G.I. Joe out the back window of our minivan, and that was cool. I don't know. I thought it was like the best time ever, which is weird.
What did you do? You just little G.I. Joe that flapped in the breeze?
But it like flapped under people's cars.
Poor guy.
Yeah.
Poor soldier. He took one for the team. Imagine like a Toy Story G.I. Joe just being like, soldier, I was thrown out of a car. It's terrifying. Anyway, Colin Kaepernick.
Back to that guy.
So, do you think he's going to sign with the team?
Probably. I don't see why he wouldn't.
The Jets supposedly are in the market for a quarterback. I think he needs a haircut before he can get a job.
I agree. Won't fit under the helmet. Do you also think that people like Spike Lee because they're friends with these people and they're trying to help blow them up as well? You know what I mean? Like,
well, yeah. Go ahead, continue.
No, yeah, that's pretty much
agreeing with you.
Like, does he really think that he is this, like, having Kaepernick on the Jets is like that important to them, or is he just using his stardom?
Connections? Stardom?
Yeah.
Colin is using Spike Lee's stardom, you're saying?
Spike, yeah, or vice versa. Spike Lee's like, hey, let me just blast Colin real quick and see what it'll stir up. Am I explaining that well?
Sure.
No.
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, then.
So let me see if I got this.
Okay.
You're saying that Spike Lee
Yeah.
is promoting Colin Kaepernick?
No, I'm not promoting, but, like, do you think he really gives a shit, or they're just, like, he's, like, a big fan, or do you think they're friends? So he's like, here, let me help you out.
Well, Spike Lee's a New York sports fan. I mean, he's courtside at almost every home Knicks game when he's not shooting commercials for Capital One. You know. But do I think he actually cares about who the next great Jets quarterback is? I don't know. Lee made it publicly known that he says it smells mad fishy to me, stinks to the high heavens that Colin Kaepernick still doesn't have a job. That is a little fishy. Do you think people are still reserved about trying to sign him just because of all his national anthem issues?
Maybe.
Even though, I mean, I know he came out and was like, guys, I'm not going to do it anymore. Well, yeah, because you want a job.
Right.
If I was a 12-pack-a-day smoker and I wanted to go work for the American Lung Association, of course I would stop smoking. Be like, guys, I'm clean until I got the job again. Like,
right. Sneak a quick smoke break.
I don't know. Do I think that this is going to happen? I mean, the Jets wined and dined Josh McCown over the weekend, who's 37. Like, come on. How badly do you want to suck? You've got guys on your team. Just throw one of them out there and say, good luck and hope for the best, guys. They also are interested in Jay Cutler, supposedly, as well. But I've made the Jay Cutler argument numerous times, though. Like, you shouldn't go for Jay Cutler because he's got a family. Jay Cutler needs to just retire. It's really what it comes down to. He needs to go back to Denver where his career started, or he needs to retire because he's got 3 kids, he's got a wife, they're all in the Chicago school districts. Like, it's very hard to just uproot your entire family and be like, all right, guys, let's go to New York. Like, New York is the worst possible thing. Go to Colorado, go to Denver. That's fairly normal.
Family-oriented.
Family-oriented. Chicago, you've already lived there for the last, I think, 9 years or something like that. Like, don't overthink it. Just keep a couple options open, or just be like, you know what? I've made over $100 million. I'm good. I'm only 34, 35 years old, so I think I'll be okay. You know? But do I think that he's going to go anywhere? I'm sure somebody somewhere will be
How old
desperate
is he?
enough. Colin Kaepernick is 29 years old.
No, how old is Cutler?
Cutler is, I think, 33, 34, something like that. Yeah, Robert thinks that Kaepernick's going to sign with the Browns. Potentially, the Browns are all over the place, honestly, in terms of potential starting quarterbacks this year. I really don't know what to make of this, though. But why do we see so many people get together with celebrities in that regards? And then, do you think it's their agents that set things up? Like, if you were looking for a job in the broadcasting industry and you talk to my agent, my wife, you talk to my agent and be like, hey, I'd love to just get together with Baxter and just have a conversation, blah, blah, blah. And do you think he could also, like, maybe take a picture of us or something too and post it? Like, and then, like, people start assuming, like, oh my gosh, this picture of Baxter and Jaymee emerges. She obviously wants to get into broadcasting because she's with Baxter. Like, is that something that if it came from you, though, if you were just like, Baxter, I just want to hang out with you, and then I'm like, oh my gosh, I had such a great time, like, snap, like, look at us, we're best friends, I totally think you should get into broadcasting, Jaymee. Or is it a behind-the-scenes sort of thing, you know? I don't know.
Maybe it's unintentional. I don't know either.
That's the hard part about it. And guys like Spike Lee, they have the following. So, I mean, that's why the thing got picked up, obviously, because anytime Spike Lee says anything,
right,
the world takes notice. It's like, oh.
Gosh darn social media.
Gosh darn it, you social media folk doing crazy stuff and things. I've got a story for our Monday Mixer that I find a bit puzzling.
Okay.
So, the Civil War's been over for a while, right? Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah. Not a history buff, but I believe you're right.
So, North won, right? Pretty positive. Mm-hmm. That's Ulysses S. Grant and stuff. Pretty positive. That was the thing. Anyway, so the South, for some reason, and I don't want to offend too many people, but I live to do this at the same time, that there has been Confederate flags flying down in Greenville, South Carolina, outside of one of the NCAA tournament venues, as a protest, basically. So a small group of protesters flew a large Confederate flag from the top of a parking garage. Apparently, they planned to stay throughout the games and be on the grounds as fans arrived. The police quickly removed the truck, or they had them move the truck about 50 feet away, citing safety concerns if the flag tipped. The protesters said they wanted to make the presence known at the NCAA. The governing body lifted its ban against South Carolina holding championships in 2015. So the big thing with a lot of this is that I never understood the fascination for people in the United States to have a Confederate flag. I'm from Florida. I got the whole South thing. I was there, but people I knew would be hardcore, like, I'm an American, but they would have like the Confederate flag belt buckle and stuff. I'm like, that doesn't make sense.
I don't really understand it either, and I don't think a lot of people that own things that have the Confederate flag on it are aware of what it actually means. They think it's just like a trend, right? Big trucks, Confederate flags, and shit kickers. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, you don't see someone in a tie, like in a suit,
usually not, no,
running down Wisconsin Ave with a Confederate flag.
Like, I feel like if they're, and I know they embrace the, like, being a redneck at times, but, like, I feel like that's, like, the surefire, like, easiest way for me to, like, kind of lose respect for you.
Right. And what are these people protesting? What?
Just, in general, just protesting, I think, the fact that, well, South Carolina as a whole, the Carolinas, I think, as a whole, had bans going against, I guess I'm a little confused here as well, too, but what ban they were organizing against.
They interviewed someone named Hunter Meadows.
Oh, my God.
And they said that the protesters did not think that it's fair that all the Confederate flag supporters were blamed for what was going on. I didn't feel it was right when the flags came down. We wanted to show the NCAA that we're still here. That's not the quote I wanted. Or was it? Sorry.
Was it the one that... But it's America, we have freedoms. People have freedoms to do whatever they want to do themselves and their property.
No, I thought I read somewhere that it was like, we just want them to know we're still here. Like, we fought a war. Like, my ancestors did this. Here I am.
Hunter Meadows of Blue Ridge says the protesters didn't think it's fair that all Confederate flag supporters were blamed for Roof's actions. Who is Roof? I feel like I'm missing a part of the story now for some reason. I don't know why I'm having a hard time piecing this all together, but
the gentleman that's not a good word to describe him. The person that did that massacre.
Which one?
Of the 9 black churchgoers.
Ah, that one.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that rings a bell now. Unfortunately, Robert says seems racist for the most part, but some people in the South die by that flag, which really blows my mind. Like, the South lost, and maybe this is just my ignorance in the situation, but like anytime I see this, I'm just like, guys, give it up. You don't see like certain countries or certain states even like fighting each other, throwing their different flags at each other, saying like, oh my gosh. And every time you hear like a state like California or Texas, they want to secede from the union because Donald Trump became president or because they don't agree with this, like, do they actually understand what that would mean? Like, there's a lot that goes into saying like, I'm going to secede from the United States. Well, good luck.
Right.
Good luck getting everything that you've already been getting, honestly. But I find it so interesting and so repulsive at the same time that people still find it necessary to have the Confederate flag available. It makes you look bad. It makes this country look bad. You're not helping grow what America is to the world.
I agree. I don't understand it either.
Yes.
And especially, like, I feel like wasn't there a thing a while ago? People were like having them in the back of their trucks, like driving around
all the
town,
time. Like I said, from Florida, see the Confederate flag in the back of the trucks all the time.
But I just don't understand like why they have to go to like events like this. Like, it just go home.
I agree. Why does it? What good is it serving? It's not like the South is going to rise up again and like take down the North. Like, no, it's not happening, guys. Like, knock it off. Yeah, Robert says, like Jamie said, their family died fighting for that flag. I get that. I do. I have my family is half Italian, and I'm not, laying on the Italian flag at night or hoisting it up because my ancestors that happen to be of whatever part of World War II when they were with the Germans as communist countries. You don't see me trying to throw the communism whatever back at all, or the Nazis, I guess, being like, oh, Italy, Germany, like, down with America. Like, what? Like, come on. Arguably, world wars did far more damage than what the Civil War did, in my personal opinion. So I guess I always get a little hazy with that when people are trying to bring the Confederate flag back and trying to make it seem like it's relevant, especially at a sporting event. It's like, just save it for your own. Like, I get it. Like, some of those backwater, like Alabama states or Alabama cities or Florida as well, too. Like, it happens. I get that. People are going to show their support. But it doesn't make a lot of sense if you're just trying to protest certain little things, in my personal opinion. The flag is this weird thing. I get that. And some people have had good comments here about it as well, too. Your thoughts about if you think the Confederate flag should be continued to use as a protest, basically, or even still be relevant. I get it. It's a part of history. I respect that. That's great. I respect the American history, the things that people have had to go through to get there. But why do we keep bringing it up,
Brewer says maybe they are fans of Dukes of Hazzard.
That could be.
True.
That could be. But then make that known. Don't just go out and randomly throw up a flag just for the heck of it. Personally, that doesn't make sense to me. What else do we have here? So one other story that I want to talk about has to do with a great in the NFL, Dwight Clark. For those of you that do not know who Dwight Clark is, former wide receiver for the San Francisco 49ers, he had the catch before Odell Beckham had the catch. So before you thought OBJ was the greatest thing since sliced bread and colored hair, Dwight Clark was the man with that great Super Bowl catch. A little bit of a sad story. The 60-year-old announced on Sunday that he has officially been diagnosed with ALS. So that means there's going to be a lot more ice bucket challenges coming up, I'm sure, in more of a joking matter, of course. But apparently back in September 2015, he said he started feeling weakness in his left hand. He was mildly paying attention to it because he had that since his playing days, consistently had pain in his neck, finally decided to go and get it checked out after months of tests and treatment. He did find out that he does have ALS. He's been retired from the NFL since 1987. He said he's still trying to wrap his mind around the challenges that he will have to face of the disease, overcoming it going forward. He says, I don't exactly know what I'm going to do. He said, but I do encourage the NFL Players Association and the NFL to continue working together in their efforts to make the game of football safer, especially as it relates to head trauma. This is something we hear all the time in terms of former players not knowing anything is taking place until decades afterwards.
Years later.
And then usually by that point it's too late. ALS is a scary disease. I get that. It really is. So how do you properly diagnose, or how do you try to catch something like that? I mean, who's to say that?
Can you catch it that early on? I
don't think so.
Or is it something that just takes that long to? I obviously don't know much about it.
Yeah, I was going to say I don't know enough about it, in all honesty, to fully understand what an ALS.
Right.
Are there ways to find ALS? I guess ahead of time. I guess that I don't know.
I'm not sure either.
But we wish Dwight a very quick, speedy, safe recovery, and we will certainly be keeping an eye and monitoring his situation, of course, going forward as well too. Played a 9-year career with the 49ers, 2 Pro Bowls, Super Bowl champion. He's just an incredible, fantastic player.
Well, and I'm sure, too, the amount of precautions they take nowadays with, better helmets and paddings and all that stuff compared to that, he probably suffered a lot more than, the guys playing nowadays.
I agree.
So.
I completely agree.
Not to go on a different tangent.
Please do.
But as I was looking at that article, I found what I'm just about to post. Oh, there we go. The tweet I was talking about earlier of the girl crying with the flute, as we talked about the little boy. Wisconsin actually sent out a tweet. It just says "sweet" after they beat Villanova. So I put it on the comments if you want to see it.
Poor gal. It's literally the worst. You're just gotta play us off, guys.
Ryan. Oh.
That's the sad.
But it's funny.
I have a small test for you here, Jamie.
Oh, boy.
This is called the pizza test that will reveal why you're still single.
Oh, God. Okay.
So, do you enjoy pizza? I guess that's
yeah.
Okay. So there's a picture of a pepperoni pizza that looks phenomenal, which I want right now. 8 pieces, just loaded with pepperoni, phenomenal. First question: would you eat some of this pizza?
Yes.
Okay. Second, how many of the 8 slices would you eat?
At least 4.
At least 4. Okay, we'll go with that. All right. Now, do you want a slice of this pizza? It's a picture of a supreme pizza.
No.
Okay.
Is there olives on it?
No.
Oh, then yes.
Okay.
Mushrooms.
Mushrooms, yes.
No.
Okay, so still no. Okay, we'll stay no. Would you eat some of this vegetarian pizza? This
No.
is okay. Feeling full yet? How about a piece of this of Hawaiian pizza?
Oh, no.
No. And how about some of this pizza? It's vegan. Would you have a vegan pizza?
No.
It looks nasty. personally.
Sounds nasty.
Do you like olives and anchovies on your pizza?
No.
Okay.
This is probably
Almost done. Would you eat any of these slices of pizza below? It's a mixture of just, I would say no. They just all look really strange and really weird.
Okay.
So you don't
Nope.
strike me as an adventurous type of a person. It says here, you got it. You are afraid of commitment, apparently. So you love dating, and you do what you do, and you do want to find somebody, but when it comes to actually making a decision to commit and stay with the long haul, you get antsy. What if you make the wrong choice? What if it ends badly? Better off to not try right. By not choosing is making a choice, which you end up alone. Well, not totally alone. You still have some pizza. So there you go. You are single, apparently, based off of the fact that you'd only eat pepperoni pizza. I guess. I don't know.
That I only eat pepperoni pizza?
Of the pictures that we looked at, apparently, that was the only thing. How many? Do you ever go into BuzzFeed and do all these crazy sort of
I
things?
think I used to more.
Do you like? I forget.
No.
Do you like dogs?
Yes.
Are you a dog person? Do you want to take a quiz fast to see what kind of a spirit dog breed you are?
Heck yeah.
Okay. We have time for this, right? Okay, we do. Which of these animals is the cutest? You've got a seal, a pig, a koala bear, a panda bear, a little rabbit, or a little porcupine.
Oh, a seal.
A little seal. How would you spend your Friday night? Playing video games with a friend, watching Netflix at home, getting laid, going to the movies, clubbing, or going to bed early? Honestly.
I'm not going to, but I don't club, but I would, no, let's say Netflix.
Netflix.
Yeah.
What makes you the most sad? Looking like other people? When my hair is too long, when people don't trust in my abilities, when people don't feel like they can trust me, being lonely and missing my loved ones, or not being taken seriously?
The third to last one.
When people don't feel like they can trust me.
Yeah, I'm a trustworthy person.
You seem like a trustworthy person. Which one of these are you craving? A hot dog, sushi, chicken wings, shrimp, a big
Wings.
pulled pork? Okay. Which sport is your favorite? Boxing, soccer, swimming, basketball, volleyball, or running? All of Jamie's favorites.
Say it again.
Boxing,
Yep.
soccer, swimming, basketball, volleyball, or running?
I'll go with boxing. Yeah.
Okay. For you, love is believing that the person you love is the best person in the whole world, being able to have fun with someone even at the worst of times, loving even the other person's imperfection, complimenting each other, or protecting your loved one.
Pick one for me.
Okay, loyalty and unconditional love.
Not real good at the love thing, clearly.
Happens. Who would play you in a movie about your life? The Rock, Aubrey Plaza, Adam Sandler, Natalie Portman, Ben Affleck, or Amy Adams?
I'm going to go with, what were the girls?
Natalie Portman?
Yeah.
Okay. You are a Labrador.
Nice.
You don't like to take risks with new things too often.
Okay, these are BS.
You're happy with the comfort and tranquility of your life. That doesn't mean you're boring, though. You still like to have fun. Your favorite activity is spending time with your friends and your family.
Oh, that's sweet.
So, Jamie is a
I
lab.
get down with being a lab.
I love labs. I love it.
I feel like they're a little hyper,
They are a little bit.
but they're so cute.
They are. Bruce says they could have at least offered up a sausage pizza. And your father says, what about meat lovers?
I do love meat.
Bruce
meat lovers
says,
pizza.
exactly, Ken. I love me a good meat lovers.
Yeah.
I'm a little upset that there was no meat lovers as an option. So, what have we learned today, Jamie Evers? We learned that you are a Labrador. We've learned that the Confederate flag is being used as a thing. We learned about that I figured out my song.
Mhm. We learned you cannot say the F word in an NCAA game.
Yes, we learned that I will
probably
name my
shouldn't go.
next daughter Tammy in honor of figuring out that The Pretty Girl Rock by Carrie Hilson. What
I
else?
think it's Hilton.
It's Hilson.
Are you sure?
It's Hilson, according to what she put. Tammy seems like a pretty reliable gal, so I'm going to go with her on this one. Google it to find out if I'm wrong.
You guys are right.
Ha! Way to go, Tammy.
Rats.
Another point for Tammy. Team Tammy Baxter. Tamary. Bactery. I don't know. Backs me? I don't know. We have a team in the hashtag. It's trending already. You're jealous. Get over it.
I am.
What else do we learn today? Did we learn anything else today worthwhile of sharing with the world?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. It's been fun. Brackets. Jamie's still in first place for now. We'll have to find out. Comment below. Give us your thoughts about anything we talked about today. Don't forget to hit that share button.
Taxter. Tammy and Baxter. Taxter. That's good. That's good, Brew.
Way to go, Brew. This is why somebody give that man a raise. You're a good man, Brew. You're wonderful. Yes. I like it. Well done. All right. Aside from that, you can check out our website, brewsportsnet.com. If you want to bring Jamie and I coffee, you're more than welcome to do that, so we maybe be a little bit more sane or a little bit more energetic in the morning. Maybe I'm too energetic. Maybe we need to switch roles. I think Jamie should host the show one of these times, and I should be the co-host because apparently sitting in this chair just energizes you with so much excitement and charisma and vigor. Jamie needs to sit in this seat more often, I feel like. We should do it. We should. If you have ideas of things you want Jamie and I to talk about, you can let us know in the comment section below. You can find us on Twitter at Jamie_Evers, at Baxter Colburn, at BrewSportsNet, hashtag BrewSports. Don't forget to subscribe to our podcast on iTunes as well if you missed any of the show and you're more of a listener than a watcher. And find us on YouTube as well, Brew Sports. Yeah, good stuff.
Until tomorrow.
Until tomorrow, wonderful people. She's Jamie. I'm Baxter. Thanks so much for watching The Morning Brew. Enjoy the rest of your day. Coming up next on Brew Sports is Halftime at 11 a.m. Central Time with myself and Tanner Burke. Do not miss it. It'll be a good old time, as it always is. We'll see you guys tomorrow on The Morning Brew. Enjoy the rest of your day.